1. The Feast and the Two Spirits. A wandering clock repairer, Ben, stopped at a village house after hearing a call. A couple invited him to fix a broken clock. After oiling it, he refused payment, but they insisted he stay for a dinner. Ben ate, drank, and slept drunk. The next morning, he woke up lying between two graves, covered in dirt. His father advised offerings and incense, after which the disturbances stopped. 2. A mother possessed. A girl recounted her mother, a teacher who could see spirits. One night, while sewing, her mother ignored her husband's greeting. When he hugged her, she turned violently, claiming to be his mother-in-law, the grandmother. Recognizing it as a spirit, the father remained silent, and later, chanting Buddha's name made the spirit leave. 3. Haunting at the tailor shop. Tanya's aunt opened a new tailoring shop, which became unpopular. She felt touched at night and argued frequently with her boyfriend. A relative with spiritual knowledge identified 3 spirits in the house: an old man, a young woman, and a man. Sending them to a temple restored peace, and her business thrived again. She also married her boyfriend. 4. The Calf Story. A girl working in a calf napped upstairs and felt a girl in white shirt and black pants strangle her. She escaped when music played loudly below. Weeks later, working alone at night, she saw the same girl on the stairs. Terrified, she quit. Later, she learned the calf had frequent ownership changes due to being haunted. 5. Alice and the Possessive Spirit. A student named Alice began experiencing strange events after moving to a new area. She constantly felt watched, and her belongings would move or disappear when she was alone. Alice fully recovered and returned to a normal life, though she always remembered the warning to stay cautious around supernatural forces. The haunting escalated as she sensed a spirit following her everywhere, especially at night. While sleeping, she felt an invisible presence hugging her or whispering in her ear. Alice grew terrified of being alone and suffered from fatigue due to lack of sleep. Alice's mother noticed her declining health and the unusual cold in the room. She sought help from a spiritual master, Mr. John, who confirmed Alice was haunted by a Dayanam, a soul destined to be her partner in a past life, now returned to claim her. The master warned the spirit was possessive and intended to block Alice from normal relationships. He prepared a ritual to sever the spiritual bond. During the ritual, the spirit resisted with sudden cold and shaking objects, but the master expelled it and gave Alice a protective charm. 6. Mark and the Restless Spirit. A young woman, Daisy, told the story of her friend Mark. His family had to relocate his Uncle Ben's remains because the land was sold. Heavy rains disrupted the process, and a spiritual master, Mr. John, revealed that Uncle Ben's spirit resisted moving until a temporary resting place was found, allowing the relocation to finish a week later. Soon after, Mark began feeling dizzy and hearing an invisible voice urging him to come play. The voice was strongest near his bed at night, leaving him disturbed and fearful. Concerned, his family brought him back to Mr. John for guidance. Mr. John explained that a female spirit was pursuing Mark. She wanted him as a husband because he resembled her fiancé, who had died in the war. The spirit was possessive and determined, causing Mark to experience ongoing disturbances and anxiety. The master performed a ritual to free Mark from the spirits and gave him a protective charm. After the ritual, the voice vanished, and Mark fully recovered, returning to a normal life without further hauntings. 7. Hannah and the Red Fiend. Hannah recounted a terrifying period when her family lived near an abandoned lot and forest. Strange noises and supernatural phenomena frequently disturbed them at night, causing fear and unrest throughout the household. Hannah's mother, who had strong spiritual intuition, began seeing the entity causing the disturbances. It often appeared near the family altar or in the living room. This frightening spirit was called the Red Fiend, demanding offerings of meat and alcohol, putting constant pressure on the parents. Concerned, Hannah's parents consulted a spiritual master, Mr. John. He confirmed the Red Fiend was an ancient, powerful spirit tied to the land. He provided protective measures but warned that fully expelling it would be extremely difficult. The supernatural events peaked when Mother had to physically resist the invisible entity to protect Hannah's younger brother, Peter. Fearing for their children's safety, Mother and Father ultimately decided to abandon the house, moving the family elsewhere to regain peace. 8. The haunting bond of an ex-lover. Lisa broke up with her unstable boyfriend, Chris, who later took his own life in despair. After his death, Chris's spirit began clinging to her. He never harmed her physically, but his heavy, constant presence pushed Lisa into deep anxiety and depression. Still emotionally tied to her, he refused to let her live in peace, forcing her to seek spiritual help to sever the invisible bond. 9. The Restless Spirit in a District 5 Restaurant. Jack worked night shifts at a restaurant on New and Tri Street and often faced strange events, moving utensils, flickering lights, and soft footsteps in empty halls. His manager later revealed the place was haunted by the former owner's wife, who died in a fire. Though playful rather than hostile, her presence still frightened Jack whenever he worked alone at night.